Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to a new video. So today I will be talking about the free stocks I will be buying throughout March. And some of these stocks I already own, and some stocks are new to my portfolio, and I will be buying the stock for the first time. But let's get right into the video. So the very first stock I'm planning to buy throughout March is Microsoft. So Microsoft is actually a really well-known company throughout the world, and you probably own a Microsoft product without even knowing it. So if you don't know what Microsoft is, you're really missing out. So Microsoft is one of the biggest companies, and even though you never heard of the name of the company, you probably have used their products in the past. Most people around the world have actually used a Microsoft product sometime throughout their life. So what Microsoft mainly does is produce software. And one of their most successful products is actually the Windows system on your PC. So if you are running a Windows software on your computer, you are running a product from Microsoft. So Microsoft has been, as I've said, a really good company that has been profitable throughout the years. Microsoft is a strong company, it's a successful company, and it has customers throughout the world. So when actually looking at Microsoft earnings per share throughout 2018, it is actually expected to be around $3.65. And when looking at 2019, on the other hand, it's looking at a $3.92 earnings per share. This is actually great growth for the company. Even though it's already such a large company, it is still expected to grow, which is great news for the company. And the self-growth percent for the company is around 11% throughout 2018 and is expected to be around 8.7% throughout 2019. Analysts are actually expecting the company to do well throughout the years, at least for 2018 and 2019. It is expected to do good. When looking back at the past, the self-growth has actually been lower, so the company is actually looking at a bright future. The sales are going up, the revenue is going up, and the company overall is a strong company and a good investment if you're going to hold it long term. As of right now, the stock price for Microsoft is actually down by around $1, which is a great opportunity to buy for you investors. And my plan with holding Microsoft is going to be long term. I'm looking to hold Microsoft for maybe 5 to 10 years looking forward. You also have to think about that Microsoft is a dividend paying stock. So Microsoft will be paying you around $0.14 per share as of right now. But you also have to think about that these numbers are not going to stay the same always. They can increase and they can go lower, but I'm not really expecting the dividends to go down since the company has increased its dividend massively just throughout the latest years. So Microsoft is definitely a great buy throughout March, and I'll be looking forward to see its growth over the years. And my second investment, as expected for most of you, is going to be Aurora Cannabis. And my reason to invest in Aurora Cannabis is that I'm still seeing a lot of growth from the company, and I'm also expecting a lot more growth from the company looking forward. At least when we're looking at Canada as an example, since they actually will legalize recreational cannabis this summer. The date for legalization has actually been moved around a little bit, but as of right now, it should be in July or August. So when looking at this year forward, we will definitely see a spike in sales for all the cannabis companies throughout Canada. But Aurora Cannabis is actually standing out from the rest, and I actually think that Aurora Cannabis is one of the best stocks you can buy as of right now. Aurora Cannabis is also expanding their operation massively, and their latest acquisition is actually Canopy, which they bought for around $900 million. Bought the company for $900 million, but they also gained 20,000 patients. This acquisition also removes some of the competition that is around. And I also see there's a great opportunity to Aurora Cannabis to increase their production rate, since they have to increase production in order to fulfill all the sales that will be happening when the recreational is going to be legalized this summer. Aurora Cannabis is also looking to go international. It is already international when looking at it right now. They are selling and exporting their products to Germany, and they're also looking into exporting more products into Italy, which is great moves from the company. When I'm personally looking at Aurora Cannabis and what they're doing, I really see them as a great company that know what they should do and what their next step is. Especially since they are actually moving towards Europe, and Europe is actually turning towards legalizing cannabis. And this basically means that Aurora Cannabis already will have a foot inside of Europe, before it actually gets legalized throughout other countries. They are also increasing their own production rate since they are planning to build a new facility which has already started construction. And this facility will actually be producing around 100,000 kilograms of cannabis and is a facility around 800 million square feet. But the most important and the most interesting fact about this new facility is that Aurora has mentioned that they are going to implement some sort of new technology, which some rumors actually have said that it's going to be some kind of automation, that they're going to use robots or something like that, which will make the production easier. But what it actually turns out to be, we will see in the future. But Aurora Cannabis is definitely a great investment if you're looking to buy stock throughout March. Buy the stock and hold for a couple of years, because I think that cannabis will be a great market and huge market in the future. When more countries are actually legalizing cannabis, for example Europe, we will see a lot more opportunities for companies like Aurora Cannabis to grow. But I personally will hold it long term, and I might sell off some stocks just before legalization just to secure some profits. But more on that in the future. My very last stock is also going to be a cannabis stock. Wow, great news, right? And it is Canopy Growth Corp. I've also talked about this stock in the past, but I'm actually looking to buy more stocks to make sure I get good gains when legalization is coming up. So yes, as I mentioned before, all the same things are going to be viable for Canopy Growth Corp. So Europe is probably going to legalize, every country in Europe is going to legalize. They are also looking into shipping internationally, and they are already looking into doing it international. We also have to think about the Consultation Brands partnership that actually Canopy Growth Corp has made, when Consultation Brands actually bought in a 10% share in the company. Some rumors has it that the reason behind the partnership is that the Consultation Brands are actually looking to make cannabis infused beers, which I personally think will be a great hit in both the US, Canada, and worldwide. Canopy Growth Corp is also looking at new facilities. They want to up their production, and Canopy Growth Corp is actually, as of right now, the biggest cannabis company in Canada. But Aurora Cannabis is actually close to taking the #1 spot in the cannabis industry. But as of right now, Canopy Growth Corp is actually on the #1 spot. So when looking at the expected revenue for this company throughout 2018, it's actually expected to lose around $0.14 per share throughout 2018. But the company is actually looking to be somewhat profitable throughout 2019 with a $0.04 earnings per share in 2019. And when looking at the expected revenue growth in 2018, it's looking to be around 100%. And when comparing it to the expected revenue in 2019, it's expected to be around 288% in revenue growth. The reason behind why the revenue growth is going to increase so rapidly is because of the recreational legalization that will happen in mid of 2018. After that, the revenue will go up massively. But Canopy Growth Corp is also looking into being listed on the Nasdaq, just as Kronos Group, which got listed last week, which also was one of the first cannabis producers that actually was listed on the Nasdaq. But apparently, Canopy Growth Corp might actually also be interested in being listed on the Nasdaq. Canada's largest weed producer has expressed interest in listing on the Nasdaq at some point in the future. The announcement comes on the heels of another Canadian licensed weed producer, Kronos Group, which became the first ever weed company to list on a major US stock exchange earlier this week. According to a note by Beacon Securities analyst Vahan Ijamin, Canopy Growth Corporation CEO Bruce Lind made clear his intention to list on the Nasdaq at an Economic Club of Canada lunch Thursday afternoon in Toronto, adding that Canopy had already been preparing to list on the exchange since October 2017. And my main intention with Canopy Growth Corp is just to hold it long term. This is not a short term stock in my opinion. Even though I'm up around 100% on the stock, if not even more, I'm still going to hold it long term and keep adding more to my investment. But if you want to do it short term, you can do it just as Aurora Cannabis, probably buy in right now and sell just before legalization. But don't take my word for it, I'm not a financial advisor and this is just my opinion and the way I'm going to do it. But that is actually going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. Also like the video, comment if you have any questions about my investments, stocks and cryptocurrencies. Just let me know and I will make sure to answer your questions. But that is it, and I will see you guys in the very next video.